Dear children, I welcome you all for YouTube class. This is yours T M Manjunath, Assistant Master, Sri Anaberukinchappa School Board. Dear children, in my previous YouTube class, I have taught you one of the best lesson, one of the best inspirational lesson, one of the patriotic lesson we have learned, that is called the will of sacrifice. This is the life history of the great Bhagat Singh, who was born for nation, who are born for the sake of nation, who are ready to sacrifice for the sake of nation. So we have learned that thing in my previous class. Today, after that freedom, after the lot of effort, after many of the people who sacrifice their lives for the sake of nation, due to their death, due to their sacrification, we have free now. So this is the poem. This poem can be related to the freedom movement. Here is a poem. This was written by C. Subramanya Bharati. Subramanya Bharati, Bharati was a writer, poet, journalist, a great thinker, philosopher, and more than all these his achievement as a writer, as a poet, as a journalist, as a great thinker, as a philosopher. Moreover, he was the great person of Indian independent activist and a great social worker. Here, dear children, Subramanya Bharati was not only a poet, not only a journalist, thinker, philosopher, but also great freedom activist, a freedom fighter, what we can see in the previous class, how that Bhagat Singh is there. So he is also a freedom fighter. He was popularly called Mahakavi Bharatiya. He is called as a what we can call Mahakavi Bharatiya. He is the pioneer of what we can see, pioneer of Tamil poetry. So, he belongs to Tamil Nadu. He is called Mahakavi. So, here he is real poet and fulfills the definitions such as who he writes poetry, he is not a poet. What a line he has said, that he who writes poetry is not a poet. So this is his definition. He who writes poetry is not poet. Means that a person who can able to write a poetry is not called a poet according to him. And he whose poetry has become his life and who has made his life the poetry, it is who is poet. As according to him, who is actually a poet? One who writes the poet is not a poet. But who is poet? Whose poetry has become his life and who has made his life for poetry is who is called poet. Meaning that what we can call, everyone can write a poetry. I can able to write a poetry, I can able to write 4-5 lines, but I am not called poet according to this C. Subramanya Bharati. Who is poet? As according to him, one whose poetry has become life whose poetry has become his life and who has made his life as a poetry is called poet. So his life is a poetry and poetry is his life. Then he became a what we can call poet. He was well-known Tamil poet. He inspired the people to overthrow the foreign rule and reform the country so that it could become an India which every Indian could be proud of. So he wrote, this is a beautiful poem. So anyhow, here he can explain in a Tamil, he is a Tamil poet. He inspired the people. He inspired the people, he inspired the Indian, he inspired by them through his writing to overthrow the foreign rule. Because, as I told, he was the greatest activist who was also called a freedom fighter. So, he had observed how British made a rule over India, how they were called an uprisers, what are their rules were played on India, how Indians were feel from that under the control of or under the reign of or under the clutches of the British. So he wanted to make the people to inspire by his writing to overthrow the foreign rule or called British rule and to reform our country so that it could become that India could be proud. So he has written a poem. It is a poem from the pen of this great patriot as an idealistic. He said that we should enjoy, we should what we can call celebrate. We could what we can call how we can celebrate a festival in our home. Like that, we have to celebrate, we have to enjoy, we have to what we can call our freedom as a day that is called a festival like this. And he well known as we can show is he used a verse, he used his poem for a medium to awake the who are suffering people in India. Dear children, in the freedom movement, in the history of freedom struggle, we have observed many of the people, the many were came inspired. Bhagat Singh, Mahatma Gandhi ji, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, this type of the great person, they can have a speech to the people of India. After hearing the speech, they want to convert themselves and to coming into the freedom movement. But some of the people like Subramanya, Sarojini Naidu, other like Rabindranath Tagore, so this type of the people, they are writing something, they are writing their piece of literature or their writing style. It is a media of people to convert and were in a, what we can call they were in a slumbering, what they were sleeping in India, the people who are sleeping in India. This type of the poems, these type of the works, understand, there will be what we can call it awake the people who are sleeping. When they were ready, they can wake up and they come into the field of freedom struggle. So anyhow, this is what we can call his all writings, his works related to the literature were the media to awake the people who are sleeping in India. It means that he through his writing, through his literary works, he inspired the people to involve in the national movement or called freedom movement. So here, such one among his work is the poem that is the Song of India or the Song of Freedom, what we can call the Song of Freedom. So these are the information we have learned so far about the poet called the C. Subramanya Bharati, who was called Mahakavi in Tamil Nadu. So he is a pioneer of Tamil poetry, and as he said that one who writes a poetry is not a poet. The one who writes the poetry is for his life, and his poetry is for his life. It means that simply the writing of the poem is not called a poet. So a person who enjoys a life as a poet, poetry is called poet according to Subramanian. Anyhow, let's see this poem. So this is the poem. We can prescribe it. It is for memorization also, dear children. You try to memorize this poem as early as possible. And as I told, the same thing while you are hearing this poem, you have to close your textbook. You just listen my how I pronouncing the poem. Let's start. This is hour of song and dance for blissful freedom is ours at last. Gone are those days of caste-born pride. Gone is the foreigner's mind. Gone is passive subservience. Gone is the stricter's way. Freedom is our universal speech. Equality, the experienced grace. We will blow the conch of victory and publish the truth to all. We see that all are equal born. Now lie and deceit are dead. Only the good men are great. Ruin has ceased and wicked. Honor to the plowman and the worker. Shame to the glutton and the rake. We will not water the wastelands, not sweat for the idler's free. We have learned that this is our own land. We will not be forever ours. We will be forever ours. No nation shall enslave us again. We will prosper, serving God, our sole Lord. So now, dear children, you just open the textbook and see the paragraph. Dear children, as here is a poet, this Tamil C. Subramanya Bharati's writing or the poet, the Song of India is translated to English by Premanand Kumar. Premanand Kumar has translated this into English. So, he is saying that this is the hour, this is the time, now it is the time for a song and dance. We have to enjoy by singing a song and dancing. Why? Because of blissful freedom. Blissful means it is extremely happy and peaceful. Because he is ours at last. And this para, the poet have been explained. All the Indian, you should play, you should enjoy, you should sing a song. Because it is the time for celebrating the festival of freedom. Understand? So here we are celebrating a festival like Ganesha Chaturthi. Now the next forthcoming festival is the Ganesha. How we are celebrating Ganesha festival? We are all singing a song of Ganesha and we are dancing in front of Ganesha's procession and we are making that moment so enjoyable, very memorable. So same thing, we have to celebrate that festival of freedom. So here he is using that word, it is a festival of celebration. Festival of what we can call celebration. How we are celebrating other festivals like we have to celebrate festival of it is a festival of celebration. What we can call is a festival of freedom like this. It is a celebration. We have the festival of freedom. So this is a time, this is the hour for celebrating a festival of freedom like this. So here this para, the first para can explain us we have to celebrate the festival. The song of freedom is merely a song. It is a song of joy and a song of happiness. After a long struggle, we won the freedom. So it is the day, it is the time for celebrating festival of freedom. All of us singing and dance for a foreigner's rule. That is next thing. Gone those days of caste-born pride. Gone is a foreigner's might. Gone is a passive subservience. Gone is the stricter's faith. So here you just look at go, when, gone. So it is the past participle form of go. So gone are those days over the foreigners. They felt that they were caste-born pride, mean that they have so proud of themselves because they were born of the good caste, high caste people they were. So in Kannada, now huttutale uttama janangadalli huttidvi, what they are saying. Gone those foreigners' might means power. So it has gone away. The people who are called foreigners, what they pride that they were born in an high caste, that was gone. And the foreigners who are called so powerful, so might, so strong, so energetic, what they can felt, it is gone away. And gone the passive subservience. Subservience means a person who can be do as according to the direction. A state in which you do whatever someone else wants to do. For example, someone, hey, come here, sit, do this, go away, sit properly, fold your hands and do this. What we can call like a slaveness. That slavery had been gone away. What is saying that? Gulamagiri ortoitu. Gone the strictest. What we can call gone their power that was away. As that foreigners rule, it is gone. And he continued that there is no need to serve for these cheating people. We need not to serve these cheating people. There is no caste-born pride. There is no foreigner's might. There is no person here who is in a passive of slavery, and there will be no that sticker. So everything is gone away. We need not to worry about those people. Whatever those wrong things, caste-born, the born pride, what they felt, and their might, their subservience, and the stickers, all are gone away, all are went away. So it is the time to enjoy, it is the time to sing a song, it is the time to dance. We should not worry about those people because they were not here, they were already went away. So we have to celebrate this festival of freedom like this. We have to celebrate here. Celebrate festival of freedom. And we continue in the para number 3rd, that is, freedom is our universal speech. Equality is experienced grace. We will blow conch of victory and publish the truth to all. That freedom, what we have enjoying, what we have gained, what we have earned, it is that a word that is in universal speech. So everyone can ask, everyone can get the speech, get the freedom. It is that universal speech. Equality is experienced here. Here no, there will be no inequality. Everyone in the world, everyone in India, we are all equal. Foreigners, they were might, foreigners, they were in higher people, they were high caste born, they were very might, they were very powerful. No. In India, we are all equal. There will be no that inequality. That equality is experienced with the grace of freedom. And we will blow the conch of victory. Victory means that what we can call V for victory. Our politicians, they are using this type of method. What is this? This is a V shape. V for victory. Victory means we have gained. We have won like this. In Kannada, now Jaya sadhisidvi, Jayashilaraadvi, now get them like this. So here we have blown, we have blew the conch of victory. Conch is a type of an instrument. It can be blown when one can own. Okay, in Kannada, Shankanadavanna Udu. So get the Karanaka. And publish this truth. Publish this truth. You can spread this truth. You can say this truth to everyone. You can tell this truth to everyone because this is the truth. The truth is we have freedom. We have freedom. This freedom is our universal speech. We are enjoying here like this. Dear children, what this is the time it is to enjoy that freedom. And he continued, see, we see that all are equal born. All are equal born. There will be no one who born great. There will be no born who are in low. There will be no high born, great born, low born, nothing. We see all that are equal born. Now, lie and deceit are dead. These people, who are the lie and who are the deceit? Lie means they are telling lies. Deceit means they can cheat. You can say cheat. What we can call invalid word. What we can call in Kannada, full, telling lies. So these lies, these deceit, who is here? These two were called foreigner, are called British, what we can call. So these British. So they were now dead. So no lie, no deceit. So if they were there, now it is dead. They were dead. Lie and deceit are dead. Only the good men are great. That only good men are great. That only good men are great because that ruin has ceased and wicked. Here no more cheating and wicked people. They were all ceased. Wicked means what we can call here. What we can call in Kannada? Wicked. Neecha. So Neecha, what we can call Vanchaka, what we can call Sullugara. Understand? These were not here. No more people in India. They are trying to cheat us. And these people who are now is seasoned means that they were not here. They were in their country. They were not in India. They were not ready to cheat anybody. Here this, we are not ready to cheat by those people who are called lying, deceit and wicked. So, and continue here, dear children, We have to honor the plowman. Plowman means what? Who is plowman? Plowman is our farmer. So we have to give respect. We have to honor the plowman, because under the British rule, this plowman or this farmer who were badly treated by the British, when there were revenue laws like Jamindari system, Mahalwari system. So while they are taking that land revenue, they were not considered whether they were grown, whether they were sufficiently grown or not. They were not thinking about the farmers. Simply they have to, the plowmen were have to give whatever they fixed that land revenue. Understand? So whether there is a drought, Barakala, whether there is a flood, what we can call Pravaha, they are not considering that type of the calamities. But simply what they are fixed, our farmers have to hand over their crops, whatever they grown in their field. So now we have honored them. We have to honor the people of India who are engaging in farmer activity or in who are called plowmen. Understand? Plowmen. And to the worker in labor class. So here our poet has advised us to give respect and to honor the plowman and a worker. And continue, shame to the glutton and a rake. What we can call glutton. Glutton means it is a word what we can call one who eats too much in the greedy way. What we can call in our Mahabharata story, there is a Bakasura, is a one type of a character which can eat with a great number of great quantity of the food in a greedy way. So here these Britishers, these appraisers, they were called a glutton, and what we can call they were rake. Rake means the people who behaves in an immoral way. What we can call they were gambling, they were drinking. What we can call in Kannada Punda, Stri Lampata, what we can call. So here these were glutton and rake were none other than they were British. They were called glutton and a rake. So these people to shame to themselves, shame you. We will not water that wasteland. We should not water the wasteland. So it means that it is symbolically explained here. We are given what we can give to the plant. We will water the plant. We will supply the light. We will supply the food for the plant. Then after the plant became grown and it gives yield to the one who can help us to help the tree to grow. In Kannada, ಒಂದು ಸಸಿಗೆ ನಾವು ನೀರು, ಗೊಬ್ಬರ, ಬೆಳಕನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಅದು ಬೆಳೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫಲವನ್ನು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. So when after giving a yield, so it is useful to us. But we are planting a plant or the tree, or supplying the water, or giving fertility to that one. What it happened? It is waste because we have support to the British. Mean that we should not water the wasteland like a British people or the foreigners. Nor sweat for the idler's wheel. It means that we should not work for the idler's people well-being. We should not work for the idle people who is a well-being like this. And the last paragraph here, the poet have been very much clearly explained that we have learned that this is our own land, and he explained this. This is our own land. This is our land. So this is the way we have to enjoy our freedom, our festival of freedom like this. And and it will be forever ours. Forever ours. This land is our own land and it is forever ours. In future, in the next day, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next year, in a future days, it is ours. No nation shall enslave us again. Here, no nation is, India, especially India, is not ready to become a slave again. It is enough to be a slave so far. In Kannada, ಇಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೂ ನಾವು ಗುಲಾಮರಾಗಿದ್ದು ಸಾಕು. Now onwards, we are not ready to be enslaved of other country. And we will prosper serving God, our sole Lord. And we continue. Nobody can enslave us again. We will serve only the God, not the British. That God is our nation. And we became that prosperous. Prosperous means we will go on well. Means ನಾವು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. This way, the poet, that is Subramanya Bharati, have explained how this type of the song, this type of the poem can inspire the people of India who are sleeping, who are, it is not related to me as a freedom movement, that can awake those people. So this way, this song of freedom can be very well poem to inspire the people of India to involve in the national movement. So this is enough for today. I am going to stop and continue the remaining part of, the remaining lessons in my 9th class. Will continue in my next YouTube class. Thank you for watching my YouTube class. Thank you once again.